Hello everyone, this is Keys Ritual again, and today I am going to be doing the makeup that was actually I saw in Catching Fire last night. It's just eyeliner and eyeshadow, so I won't be very long. But while I'm doing it, I'm going to tell you the story of my dream last night, since it's always fun to hear about someone else's dreams. The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Ruby Kisses primer and put it on the top of both of my lids. Okay, so last night, I actually have it all written down here because, if you forget, if you don't you wait too long, you tend to forget it. So the second I woke up, I just started typing it all out. It was like three parts. But the first one, we were like all waiting on a subway platform in New York City, and there was me and a bunch of ghetto girls. They were just like bitching about stuff. And the train conductor goes on the speaker and says there's this new kind of express where it's non-stop, meaning it never stops. And I didn't quite understand the concept of that at the time. And everyone was like, "Yeah, we would love that because it's like 4 in the morning and we all want to go home." So the conductor's like, "Okay," and we all get on, just normal. I sit down, and there's these two chicks that had just come from Subway, being all ghetto about it, and we are running for a little bit, people are talking, and then all of a sudden it's like the entire train is like has no top or sides and the seats are just sort of like framed. And so I'm gonna take a card out because I have to do a harsh line. Take my little my ID. But so I'm like hanging off the back and the tracks are like a monorail. And these girls talking about how they got Subway, they didn't get enough, and we go by this platform and we don't stop. But there's the woman's daughter, and she's like, I did not buy a sandwich for her. So what I do is I grab her sandwich while I'm hanging off the back of the train, sitting on this seat that's like my legs are like dangling over the tracks, and I throw the sandwich at her daughter. And the lady on the train are like, we could either share her sandwich or we could go back to Subway and get another one. And it didn't really make sense why I was pelting a sandwich at a little girl. But let me get this. I'm gonna line it up with my eyes a little bit higher, and I'm going to. This is like a sparkly red from that. I'll show you. It goes all the way up, and then it's like spreads out. But then that one ended, and all of a sudden I am this 6'2" tall idiot hillbilly in the middle of the country, and people are like just beating the crap out of each other, but they're all like laughing about it. It's funny. No one takes it seriously. And like trying to kill each other, they're swinging chairs at each other. And I'm just heading outside, going with like these beer crates, and all of a sudden I look over and there's this rusty truck and there's this tall, evil looking dude and he throws an axe at me, a rusty axe, and it like comes at me like right at chest level, and I duck, like I come down, I came down, I duck down, and then I realized he wasn't one of those joking murderers. He was actually trying to kill me, and he heads inside. And there's like we're in like a bodega gas station. It's like a gas station. There's no gas pumps outside for some reason, and there's like this one central like shelf that's like chest level, where all the food's on, and he's on the left side, right near the sodas. And I come in and I grab a bottle of pills and I slide in like I'm trying to come into first base, like home plate at baseball, and get on the other side and start throwing stuff at him over the shelf to distract him. My idea was I was trying to distract him so that I can like attack him and get him down. And I grab this bottle of orange juice and throw it at him, and it pours everywhere, and he's like all of a sudden he's like totally distracted, and so I grab a bottle of soda, which happens to be something like a bat, and I beat him in the head and knock him out. uh, And it's then all of a sudden the cops come and arrest him, and the cops are like, "How'd you know he wasn't serious about trying to? He was serious about trying to kill you." They tell him about the axe, and they place him in a helicopter, like the back of a helicopter, like an army helicopter. He's like just sitting there, and we're sitting on the back of a pickup truck talking about it. And then let's see. And for some reason, this car goes by and has like a paper mache giant dragon head on it. And I'm like, oh, that's part of the new ride, isn't it? You can tell because how it's made. And Cop's like, yeah, I'm ready to go ride that. I'm like, and then I go back inside the store, and my boss, who happens to be a woman that I don't recognize, tells me that I could have hurt myself by getting myself on a shelf when I slid in, and she's like all concerned that I could have killed myself because of trying to do that. Even though she didn't care about the actual axe murder, she cared about me like hitting a shelf. And I explained to her like her getting hurt was the last thing on my mind. I was cared more about everyone's lives. And then I got like ready to clean up the pills and the orange juice that were everywhere. And then it ends. And let me just finish my eyes before I tell you the final third part of my dream. Let me just do it right there. I think I just burped. I need something darker. It's just not as dark as I remembered it would be. This makeup night might not be exact since I did see it last night and I don't really. I'm not. I can't see that well. I'm nearsighted, so I'm doing my best to remember. That looks about even. It's why I'm glad, like, when you do someone's makeup, you're, like, right in their face. Okay, I'm going to, with the same brush, I'm going to grab this NYX Apricot Red. I only found it once, and I'm almost out, and it's, like, all broken because I drop it a lot. It's called ES98 Extreme Apricot. It's sort of beat up. I'm going to do that to go over my eyes just to make it a little bit darker. Hopefully that'll work. It works. I tried to look for a picture online so that I could better represent it, but the only pictures I was finding were people with their makeup and what they thought it looked like, and it wasn't quite what I remembered. And I couldn't find a good picture of her close up because all the pictures were very zoomed out, and it couldn't see the detailing in her eyes. No, it looks about a little bit better in color. And by the way, when I'm talking about cheap palette, I'm talking about this one. I was using this color previously to give it like a little glitter. I'm gonna put that actually on top to like a little bit more shimmer. Okay, now in this last part of my dream, we were in a car driving. It was me and my twin sister and these two drag queens from New York. Pussy Couture was driving. Madeline Hatter, which is usually her stage partner, was in this driver's seat, and my sister was on my left, and I was in the very back right. Which, although as a child, I was sitting always sat on the left. My sister sat on the right. But my sister and Madeline Hatter were like fighting it out. Like they were just like bad mouthing each other because she's like Madeline's like explaining where these places are, and we're like in Arkansas, of course, but we're like It didn't look like Arkansas. And my sister's like, yeah, I live there. And she's like, no, you didn't. You've never been here. And I'm like, yeah, you haven't been here. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And we're just driving in circles. Like, I recognize a place like several times. What I do is I'm going to take the eyeliner and go all the way up, give a little wing on the bottom only from the entire bottom. And I'm using Almay, kind of Walmart, but it's still amazing. But there's this church we keep passing. It has like a mountain kind of like made on top of it with like a manger scene. We keep passing it, but I never really paid attention. It has like a little snow cap on the mountain, and we're that's apparently was our location. And as we drive up to it, I'm like, we should go climb that mountain. And then I get closer and I realize it's the top of a building. And I'm like, even if it is a building, we should still climb it. So anyway, my sister and Madeline and finished the conversation in the car, and so I can't really talk when I do this eyes, but yeah, I'm gonna start from the inside. But so we had this bag of trash between me and my sister, and so they finished the conversation. We get out of the car, we're like parked on the side of the street, just like getting ready to go out. And I take the trash, I go to the trash's curb trash area, where like everyone like puts their trash in the curb for like trash day, and I just throw it in there because apparently that's where I'm supposed to go. It wasn't like I was like trying to make the lawn in there. I just felt like that's where I should have gone. And so they're all ahead of me a few yards, and we go in, and it's like this fancy ass place, like red carpets with red carpets on top, red wallpaper, picture frames and gold trimming, and right down the middle is like all these white pillars, and there's like a left section and a right section. I didn't really recognize the back of the place that well, but we they head off in their own direction, and I go to the right in the very back area because that's where my grandmother is. And behind her is like this little window that's like about 3 feet by 3 feet, and it has like no openings, nothing, and there's a lady behind it. And I assume like that's where the food's coming from. And it reminded me sort of like a soup kitchen, even though it was like, and there was like someone at the window, by the way, but probably don't really care. But anyway, there's like she's at this back table, and there's like this good like 30, 40 yards from the window, and there's like one more table behind hers with this like little black lady sitting at. And let's see, uh, my grandmother is like, "You're wearing all black," and from her tone, I think she is being a little bit whatever racist about it. And she looks around, she's like, "Is there any black people here?" And then she's like, "No, there isn't." "Why are you wearing black?" And I'm like, "Are you trying to imply that I'm being racist for wearing black?" And she's like, "Yeah." But what she didn't notice is the black lady sitting right behind her. Anyway, two of these people come up and they're like around my age and they're apparently my friends. And they come up beside me and we start talking. And then she's like, "Why are you wearing black?" So I go off on her and I'm like, "Are you implying that I'm racist because I like the color black? You know, most of my clothes are black. What the hell?" And I just like start going at her, like cursing her out like I normally do when I'm really pissed off. It's not like anything extreme, but she was really pissing me off. And I'm just cursing her out. Then I wake up and I'm just like, "Grandma, you're so racist." And let me just finish this last piece. Uh, oh, messed up a little bit. This is what I get for talking while doing makeup. There we go. Now, if I have some mascara, but it's really crap and I need to get some new ones. But thank you for watching. I'm just going to shade it a little bit more right here. And this is my representation of Katniss's party makeup. Doesn't quite look as good as me. But if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. And if you want to, you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, which is in the links down below. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.